Hey, welcome to the next YouTube video. Today we're going to talk about our culture. First up, thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you will like this video and it will leave you inspired and thought-provoked.
I put that on God when it gets hard. I stay on my job like no days off, so you can go
I mean, isn't it so that at the end of the day we're all just trying to be liked and loved by people we want to be surrounded with? What if during that process of really wanting to be liked and loved and seen, we lose ourselves because we're trying to fit in, we're trying to be liked by actually copying, being similar to the person you look up to or you want to be surrounded with? Aren't we again missing the point of being ourselves and individuals? I mean, when God created us, He didn't want you to be an exact copy of person B. He created you to be A, so why are you trying to be B? Ever since media actually led us to think in a certain way, and as I said, they're trying to construct a mass that thinks and acts and feels a certain or even similar way. You might even say, okay, but not me, I'm not included. But seriously, each of us were included, because a few years ago I was just following things mindlessly without questioning things only because majority stood behind it. And in my experience, I always wanted to fit in. And this fitting in led me to just follow things carelessly without questioning it. And ever since I understood, okay, I myself, I love me for who I am and I don't want to try to fit in anymore. I'm not made to fit in. I'm not made to be liked by everyone. Not everyone will like you, and that is just life. That is life. It can be unfair, but also not. Maybe it's normal, I don't know. As I said, I try to always fit in and always say the right things in the right moment to be liked by the people that I'm surrounded with. Up until, as I said, a few years ago, where I just realized, no, I just feel completely robotic doing those things, repeating the same things, having the same conversations on what culture is actually talking about right now, just to feel like I'm belonging to some group. I just sense how many people have different opinions on popular topics, but now don't dare to voice their opinions because they feel that they will be brandmarked as a, I don't know, conspiracy theorist, homophobic, like all of those anti-negative things that you're just brandmarked with if you say something against majority's opinion. And for me, seeing that and experiencing it myself, I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable voicing my opinions, though I'm allowed to voice my opinion, such as other people. But if your opinion, for example, is the contrary to what other people or the majority of people stands behind, you just feel like an outsider immediately and you just want to shut up and go to your group of friends that are like-minded people that think and feel the same that you do, and just stay in your little group of circle there and just talk about your different worldview. No, that's not right. I don't feel good doing that. I don't feel good and authentic at the same time. To actually adapt depending on who I talk to or hang out with. So, for example, if I know that this person is very active in pop culture and all the trending topics and all that, I try to adapt, though I'm not interested in those topics. Because for me, it's just created by media moguls for us to be entertained and distracted at the same time, to talk about certain things and not actually realize what the main goal somehow in life is. That we're missing the point is what I'm trying to say. We're actually missing the point when we just carelessly, thoughtlessly follow what the mass is doing because the mass is doing so. Of course, the media will also say everyone who thinks and says the opposite will something's wrong with them. When I think about our culture nowadays, I just really see a lot of pain and people trying to achieve things whereas they don't even know if they want to do it, right? They just chase after certain things because literally they portray it in the media, and the media has led many souls to distraction and just really, kind of also made good-hearted people become very egocentric and confused, and they're very led by their desires. Being led by your desires isn't really a negative thing, but what I'm trying to say is when you're led by your desires is that you're actually thinking about your own desires. Okay, I have this one desire and I'm chasing it. No matter who I'm leaving behind, who I'm hurting, I just want to get this desire. We can actually talk about dating culture being like this. People in dating culture, like people who actively date, are very fixated on their desires and of course the preferences. So I prefer this type in looks, I prefer a certain intellectual grade or whatever, and we're just very superficial with everything nowadays. No one actually puts a deep meaning behind stuff anymore. I feel that media literally led us to this point because, as I like to talk about, that we are conditioned ever since we're young, meaning ever since you're young you've been watching certain TV shows, a lot of Disney shows, Nickelodeon shows, or whatever you've watched as a little child. They conditioned you, they influenced you in a certain way that you see and perceive things up until now and until you grow up later. You would also have to know that those people behind those big companies like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, MTV, like all those media distribution channels, whatever, they have a certain agenda they're following. And this agenda is actually leading to construct a mass that thinks and acts in the same way. I don't know if you can grasp what I'm saying or if it's totally absurd for you, but just hear me out. Disney Channel, best example again, dating culture. We as women think that we're waiting for a Prince Charming because this is what we've been watching when we're little. This movie literally conditioned you to thinking and perceiving men in a specific way. Of course, the other topic is worthiness. How we seek our worthiness or our validation in materialistic things or worldly things, we can say. Things that we can see, feel, touch, smell, and hear with our five senses. We limit ourselves to our five senses, basically. We seek short-term happiness, short-term sensations, and short-term success. Though people would say who try to attain success, they're not looking for short-term success. They don't know that they're actually chasing short-term success because what they see online is fast money and get rich quick things. These are the paths they're following and thinking that it's going to be sustainable. It's only going to be sustainable, you're only going to be financially sustainable or financially successful if you're actually deep into the material, if you're actually deep into personal development and taking care of your internal world. It's not all about mindset. Of course, mindset is key, that's for sure. Me, myself, I always have to work on my mindset because our minds just limit us. That's for sure. You just focus on the external things way too much and at the same time ignore what is actually happening inside of you or what you went through. You still have to work certain things out in order to succeed long term. So if you're a hustler, for example, and are very dedicated to, study each day, like for hours and hours, or maybe you're more effective in not even studying for hours, but you're still studying day by day by day. I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong, but what I'm saying is you're concentrating on the external thing way too much than actually also balancing it out with the internal things. Like, for example, building your relationship to yourself, healing from trauma in the past, confronting your limiting beliefs and your belief systems, working on your relationship with God. Everything you're building on this foundation is actually your worldview, your belief system. And if your belief system is somehow twitched but you don't even know it, you're building on sand. You're not building on a solid foundation. And that's how it actually seems, okay, like you're building this building and it's standing, you know, but because it's only short term, it will crash in a while. And it can be in a few years, it can be in a few months, but it won't be sustainable. And those that try to chase the fast track to attain success and everything, they will fall on the nose pretty soon. And I'm not saying that because I want them to fall on the nose, not at all, but it's just how it is. Me, for example, I mean, I'm on my personal development journey for like 30 years and also building my business ever since. And I didn't attain the financial success I see on social media, for example, of people doing the same or similar things I do. And some of them, like for example, they build a social media marketing agency and grow and scale their company from 0 to 100K within, I don't know, a few months. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, you know, I mean, I'm doing the work that I'm telling you to do. So I'm doing the internal work, I'm working on my mindset, so I'm also doing the external work. So why am I not succeeding so fast? Am I on the wrong path? Like, am I missing something? Yeah, why? What God told me is that it's not about seeing results immediately. It's literally sowing and reaping what you sow. Throughout our lives, we will actually always live by you reaping what you sow. And for things that you sow to reap, it will take a while. This is like actually the waiting phase, the waiting period. At the same time, I feel like a failure if I don't achieve instant success. In the moment, I'm saying, no, it's not about instant success. I mean, I don't want instant success, I want sustainable success. I'm desperate or questioning things in the process, so I'm actually looking for this instant success and instant gratification. We all do, because we open social media and we just see how people succeed or having all these great moments, but just don't realize that we're living by this iceberg illusion. I'm going to blend in a picture here, and this iceberg illusion literally says how we society see people's lives. We just see the tip of the iceberg, but don't realize that this big chunk at the bottom actually made us who we are in terms of success now. We don't realize that for this person to be seen as the successful person, it took him, I don't know, sweat, blood and tears, as you can say, sacrifices, hustling, hour-long, and dedication, heartbreaks maybe, and burnouts, everything, just like tough things that you're going through for you to succeed in life. And we just see the tip of the iceberg, and I myself fall victim under that. I only see the tip of the iceberg of other people, and deep down I actually know that only because their lives seem so beautiful and perfect and whatever, I know it's not the reality. That's why I say, no matter how rich you are, you can sit beside me, and I admire you for your work, that you come this far, that you attained wealth. Like, if you're a wealthy person. I'm not interested in rich people, because rich people are, you know, they're rich out of something. But people who are wealthy actually are wealthy or rich over a longer period of times, which is more sustainable, more solid, and you know that they, for example, have a company over a few years. How did you do that? Give me your exact blueprint. And that's the trap. And this is the other thing. People want the exact blueprint of people's success, but their blueprint will only work for them. So if you're actually wanting the blueprint of a successful person, no matter if the person just got rich overnight, which is also just a myth, you can put it on you, but it's like you're putting a different puzzle piece into the picture and it just doesn't fit. It looks like it can fit, but you know, it doesn't fit that well. If you're actually trying to live by this blueprint of another person, it won't work, because your success is a personal success, and for you to succeed, it's not about following the same path person A walked and succeeded in. It's more about you finding your own personal success, your own desires, what you truly want, and not only what you see on media and what other people talk about. You have to sit down and actually realize, what do I actually want? Why do I feel like I succeeded if I attained these things? You write it down for yourself in order for you to actually know what you are working towards. If you just say, okay, I want to be rich for me to get this nice car. Alright, so what if the nice car that you saw this person having, be it a sports car, is actually not really your style? As soon as you sit inside of it, let's say you attained the success the person also had, and you're sitting in the car and feeling like, yeah, it's nice, it has leather seats, it feels expensive, I like the wheel, I mean, I like the speed, I mean, it could go up to 230 miles per hour. Somehow, I think I'm more of a Jeep person. I realize a Jeep isn't as expensive as a sports car you bought, but literally because you're just trying to put the pictures you saw online into your desires, you're missing out on something because it's not actually what you really want. That's why I always say it's so important to sit down and realize what you actually want in life and to plan it out. And this is what I'm working on, because I'm telling you that. And me, myself, I have plans, I have goals, but I didn't write the complete plan and goals and desires I wanted on a piece of paper. And I guess it's about that. If you write it down, guys, there's so much power in writing down. And if you do that, you just have clarity. And I guess a lot of us aren't clear on the things because we just have a lot of thoughts. We have a lot of impressions, and it clutters our actual desires and our actual needs. Without being influenced by anything, just write down what you truly want, and you can work towards this. Then you have an actual plan to move into. We are talking about instant success, which also leads to that is giving ourselves pressure to achieve certain things, to achieve XYZ. Talking about sports cars, to achieve XYZ by X amount of time. And let's say you want a certain thing, you desire a certain thing, and you give either God or yourself a certain timeline to perform. So you expect to be, I don't know, be married in 5 years. And if you're not married in 5 years, then, I mean, you claimed it. If I'm not married in 5 years, then I'm going to ... settle. And this is the other thing. Our culture settles a lot. We settle on things because we are seeking this instant gratification and unlearned how to be patient and work for things and be persistent on it and not give it up only because we think it is taking too long. How can you know it is taking too long if you don't see the bigger picture of it? What if for you 5 years is totally like doable? I mean, in 5 years, hello, a lot can happen in 5 years. And what if in this 5 year span you have to experience so much more for you to grow and to actually have a proper marriage than just saying, okay, within 5 years I want to be married now, and not really overthinking it. You just put it out there and just settle if it doesn't happen. What if in year 6 or 7 you're actually going to find the right one, but you settled in year 4? You didn't even wait until year 5. Those 5 years, I just said that, but realistically, as if I would wait 5 years to get married. You know what I'm saying? You can just put this example on many other things. Settle and realize while settling, this isn't what I want, but I'm now into it, and somehow it's not what I wanted, but it's near that. That is settling. So I wrote my own definition to it down. Setting is basically you saying yes to something that doesn't satisfy you as the original outcome would, but you being too impatient led to you settling for less. This happens so often in our society, and it's very hard to get out of it. Say it's a mediocre, for example, corporate job you're settling for that pays all your bills. Then it's very hard to cut that job off because you settled for it and now it's actually taking care of your bills and you're 2 years into it, so now making a harsh cut. So you stay in this mediocre thing you settled for, though if you could have waited a bit longer, if you could just put your phone away and not compare your life to social media people and wait a bit longer, actually get to your blessing. We cut our own blessings off by being impatient, by settling. I'm really firm on what I want and need in life, thankfully. But believe me, it took me a lot of mental work to get to that point, and a lot of prayer to get to that point, and a lot of resistance to get to that point. But I just realized this is the only true way to be true to yourself. If you settle, you're just never giving yourself what you truly deserve. In my experience, it's of course hard that if everyone around you just settles, for example, they got kicked out of their job and now they're immediately hopping to the next job without taking the time to realize, okay, why did I get kicked out of the job? Because it also happens for a reason. In my case, I got kicked out of my job, or not kicked out, but they're not paying for the staff that I was at that time. And of course I was a bit not sad, but I was just alright then, so what now? As we're always thinking in security terms, we're thinking I need a job right now to secure my lifestyle and bills and everything. I didn't worry way too much, though I felt pretty impatient, and this is the thing that I'm working on. I'm an impatient person, and if those things happen in my life, I'm really tempted to hop into something that I just know it's not the time for that, or it's not meant to be that. So in my case, I could have just hopped into the next job or a similar job, but I realized this is not the time. And I'm also realizing that right now I shouldn't be doing that much. I should be using that time to work on my own projects, which I actually wanted to do forever. And this is what actually sets me on fire. I want to do my own stuff. I don't want to work for other people. So why am I feeling pressured to actually hop into this next job? Only because I'm thinking I want to secure my lifestyle that I'm having. So we rely very much on outer circumstances instead of actually trusting and believing that God has us. Me too, I was instantly thinking, okay, I need another job, and I was also applying for 1 or 2, but didn't get a response, so that was another confirmation. Girl, sit still, keep your feet. Friends, believe it or not, I just ran out of storage. So I completely don't know where I ended, but what I'm trying to say is our society nowadays is really led and influenced by external things. We don't seek the internal things, we don't seek God, because many even don't believe in God. And I'm not here to try to put my faith onto you, I'm not doing that. it's your work. But I'm just talking on behalf of my worldview and my experience. and also what, in my opinion, is the best for you. Be aware of what you consume and maybe even ask why you consume certain things. Put a question mark behind it. Just don't accept it and say because other people do so. After this video, I don't allow you to say this anymore because this is only an excuse. Don't carelessly follow like a sheep what other people are doing. You're created to be an individual, so please have your own opinions. Please question things and don't just take it as they are. At the same time, I advise you to sit down and actually think about what it is that you truly desire, and just put away all these other things that you see online, what people claim to be desirable. Beautiful physique, of course, you would have to be healthy, but you don't have to have this top-notch, perfect physique, you know, in order to be happy. You don't have to have X amount of dollars to be happy. Only what you really want, what your heart desire is, and focus on that. Focus on doing you. It's July now, half of the year has gone by, and it went like this. Literally. Time is running. Please don't waste any more precious time. I bet you lost already very much precious time in your life by carelessly doing things other people tell you to do so, including your parents or friends, society, whatever. Sit down and actually think of what you really want to do yourself and stand behind it. Because what is truly in your heart is only the best, you know. I really hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified each time when I upload, because you don't want to miss out on the videos. And feel free to follow me on my Instagram at spiritmata, and let's connect. Let's have a chat on Instagram. I'm really looking forward for the next video, and see you guys until next time. Bye.